You spent your whole life believing you were a follower. And lead.
You see that one?
Yeah.
That's the Judas steer. The rest will follow wherever you make him go.
Last week, there was one thing I couldn't quite fit into my quick notes video on small things grabbing my attention. I was wondering why Dolores saved Caleb at such great risk to herself. In the Episode 7 trailer, we see that there is still a large role for Caleb to play, that of a Judas steer in essence, leading humanity to the slaughter. But while making that video, this wasn't so apparent. While researching, my memory was refreshed on the ending of Brave New World. I had forgotten what became of John, the savage boy that was taken from the wild reservation back to Brave New World's decadent and highly structured society. Like the show hints for Caleb, he commits suicide.
I'm a dead man either way. At least this way. I get to decide who I want to be.
But what gave me deeper insight into the message of the Nolans this season was what John the Savage was told in the climatic meeting with Mustafa Maan, the resident world controller for Western Europe and arguably Brave New World's analog to Serac. After John demands the right to express heroism and nobility in the face of adversity, Maan replies that, in fact, you're claiming the right to be unhappy. And I think the show gives John's argument an advocate in the form of Dolores. She may well view her freeing of humanity to pursue its own destruction as in fact an act of mercy. It seems like the view of the show on a metaphysical level is that the extension of life unnaturally is a source of pain due to a mismatch between that person and their world.
He didn't fit the world anymore, and the world didn't fit him.
The Nolans are likely arguing that through a combination of factors, such as the destructiveness of nuclear weapons, the destruction of the environment, or the straight obsolescence of human thought in the presence of artificial intelligence, that humanity in general is no longer fitting this world. The eclipse symbolism of Rehavim is a representation of a frozen eclipse, an unnatural pausing of time. This suggests that trying to extend the time of humans on West Earth, as Serac is doing, is ultimately as unnatural and doomed to failure as stopping time itself. And so by freeing humanity to end its loop, this is Dolores' mercy, as is alluded to in the title of the first episode. And I used to be sure that this would also be Caleb's fate. But then I remembered who Kalev was. Kalev is a derivative of the Hebrew word for dog, and his relationship with Dolores seems to be that of a loyal pet. But furthermore, Kalev's loyalty to Moses is what singled him out from among an entire generation of Israel, doomed to wander in the desert wilderness until their death. Kalev, along with the other loyal spy Joshua, were the only two of that generation allowed to enter the Promised Land. So I think there may actually be some hope for Caleb to be an exception in relation to humanity in general, and perhaps he may have a place in Dolores' Promised Land. Of course, this would potentially put Dolores in the position of Moses, and we all know he never actually makes it to the Promised Land. Thanks for listening. This has been Shiva's Right Foot, and I'll talk to you next time.
Everything over off the gold. Like better with my index footboard. No can't talk, I'm smearing you. Don't have shit locked, I hear the proof. Betty from London about a million me. If I ever let a bitch get used to me. Respect, no, respect, no, respect, and this